She came dead last. Not almost last, not second to last, but dead last. And the entire internet lost its mind, making all manner of mean comments. What is she even doing here? This is embarrassing. But she was at the Olympics, and how many of her detractors could say the same? So here's something that most people feel deep down inside, but very few will admit to themselves. If I can't be the best, what's the point? If I can't be the number one, why even try? And you felt it, I know you have, so have I. That feeling that somebody else is maybe more smarter or more talented or just generally better than you. And deep down inside, you felt that feeling, didn't you? Where you just quietly started to give up. And maybe you told yourself you were simply being realistic, more mature than other people. You know where your limits are. But what if that wasn't wisdom? What if that was just fear with a better vocabulary? So here's the assumption that's buried underneath all of that, that your worth is relative, that achievement only matters if it's exceptional, and it's only worth showing up if you can win. We've absorbed this so deeply that we don't even question it anymore, do we? School ranked us, sport ranked us, social media gives us metrics that tells us how popular we are. And every day, if we want, we can have a report on the number of followers and likes and reach and relevance. And somewhere along the line, we all internalize the lie that if I'm not at the top, then I don't belong. Elizabeth Swaney belonged. She just didn't care about the ranking. Elizabeth Swaney is a Harvard graduate, an entrepreneur, and she represented her country in the halfpipe at the 2018 Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. She didn't do any flips, she didn't do any tricks, but what she did do was start at the top of the hill and steadily make her way all the way down to the bottom whilst maintaining her balance and staying on her feet. She studied the qualification system. She realised that if she finished enough events, not won, simply finished enough events, then she would accumulate sufficient points to qualify for the Olympic Games. So for 4 years she travelled the world, competing in all of the qualification events. She worked jobs on the side while she was doing it and trained to be competent enough just to get down the hill, finishing on her feet. She finished race after race after race, and she made it. There is a word for what she did, and it's not cheating, it's not gaming the system, it's faithfulness. Now I need to make this personal because obviously this message is nothing to do with skiing. How many times have we all thought about something that we deeply want to do, something that we know that will make our hearts sing? Maybe we feel like we're called to do it, but we don't take that first step because we just think it's going to be too hard. I can't win, I'll never succeed. How many rooms have we not walked into because we know that there's going to be somebody in there who's more qualified and better than we are? How many dreams have been quashed because we decided it wasn't worth the embarrassment? The internet mocked Elizabeth Swaney, but she went to the Olympics and the internet didn't. Here's what scares me about our generation. We have never had more access to more tools and opportunities. But it seems like everybody is paralyzed, not because of lack of opportunity, but just due to the fear of failing. Everybody is pathologically afraid of being judged or cancelled or in some way hearing mean words from strangers on the internet. That's not wisdom, that's not humility. That's a tragedy. And now I want to stop here because I think that we're asking the wrong question. Inside we keep asking, am I good enough? And God is asking us something completely different. He's saying, hey, are you prepared to be faithful with what I've given you? See, the world is ranking you against its own system. It needs a winner to make everybody else feel small. But that's not the economy of God's kingdom. Jesus didn't tell the parable of the person who invested the most and got the most return and won the market. He told a parable about servants who were faithful with what they were given, and the one who buried his talent in the ground, he was the one who Jesus rebuked. Not for failing, but for not even trying. Hebrews chapter 12 and verse 1 says, "Let us run with endurance the race that is set before us." Not someone else's race, your race, my race. Elizabeth Swaney ran her race, and it wasn't the most impressive, and the crowds didn't cheer, but she ran it. And I genuinely believe that God is far less interested in your ranking than he is in your faithfulness. Whatever you do, work at it with all your heart as working for the Lord, not for human masters. Not for comments, not for validation, and certainly not for the people who will mock you even for trying. For him, you don't have to be the best. You have to be obedient, strategic, consistent, and unashamed. You have to keep showing it up when it would be far easier to quit. You have to be prepared to come last in front of people who don't even know what you're competing for. So let me ask you something. What's that one thing that you have been putting off, that you haven't tried for because you were afraid that you wouldn't measure up? What's the dream that you have been quietly talking yourself out of because somebody else is already doing it and better than you could ever hope to? And what would happen if you just started? Elizabeth Swaney went to the Olympics not because she was the best, but because she wasn't prepared to let her not being the best prevent her living her dream. You don't have to be exceptional to be obedient. You just need to begin. So go begin.